Okay, so one of the sources starts with, you better not never tell nobody but God
Yeah.
if kill your mammy.
Wow.
That's pretty intense, right?
Right out of the gate.
It continues, Dear God, I am 14 years old.
Okay.
I I have always been a good girl. Maybe you can give me a sign letting me know what is happening to me.
That's heavy stuff right there. I mean, you're just thrown right into the middle of something very personal and possibly very bad.
Yeah. And that's where we're headed in this deep dive. We're diving deep into the world of Celie,
Right.
as told through excerpts from Alice Walker's The Color Purple. And we're not going to just like retell the story or give a plot summary,
Right.
but really try to understand her experiences and how her perspective changes as we look at these excerpts.
These excerpts, our listener, function as like a lens
Yeah.
to look at Celie's inner world, her relationships, and really what's happening to her over time.
And you gave me material that spans a really key period for Celie. We see her at 14, as we've just heard, dealing with abuse and the loss of her children and navigating these complicated relationships with the people around her.
Right.
And ultimately, we see her finding her own sense of self-worth.
Absolutely. And I think when we put these pieces together, these excerpts together,
Yeah.
you get a really clear picture of how identity is formed under pressure, and that desire we all have for connection.
Yeah. So our mission today is to really trace that transformation in Celie as it unfolds in these passages
Okay.
and pinpoint what we learn about her and the difficult world she's living in.
Sounds good.
So let's start with those early hardships and that opening line.
Yeah.
You better not never tell nobody but God.
It really hits you hard right away.
It does.
She's only 14.
Yeah.
She's pregnant, and she's facing a very scary threat.
Right. And then we meet Mr. Blank, Mr. question mark, question mark, question mark.
Yeah.
And this whole pattern of abuse starts. The text says she gives birth to children, plural, more than one, and they're taken from her immediately.
Wow.
There's even that sad little detail about the embroidered name Olivia on the diapers.
Ugh.
That's a powerful detail, right?
Really emphasizes that motherly connection that's cut so short.
What does that tell us about Celie at that point, do you think?
It's just the speed of everything, the abuse, the pregnancies, the loss of the children. It's like just boom, boom, boom.
Right.
Really establishes a sense of trauma early on.
And it makes you think about how she sees the world, right?
Yeah.
I mean, she has very little control over what's happening.
Exactly. She's not in the driver's seat of her own life at all.
Then there's her worry for Nettie, her sister, and that moment where she thinks about Shug Avery.
Oh, yeah.
She says, I know what he'd doing to me, he done to Shug Avery, and maybe she like it.
Interesting.
So she's recognizing this shared experience of abuse, even as she's going through it.
I guess it's like an early form of empathy, or even her trying to just understand what's happening to her.
Yeah, it is. And it's interesting because she hasn't even met Shug yet at this point.
No.
But she knows about her reputation.
Right. This woman who doesn't quite fit in, who does things her own way.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's Nettie leaving.
Oh, right.
And Celie's desperate attempt to protect her, giving her the name of Reverend Mr. And telling her to ask for his wife.
Okay.
It's the only woman that Celie has ever seen who seems to have money.
Yeah.
So she's trying to give her sister some kind of chance, some kind of hope.
Yeah, and then she gives her that simple instruction.
Oh, I remember this.
Right.
Uh-huh.
And Nettie promises, but then
Nothing.
she never right.
Oh, that's rough.
What do you think that silence does to Celie?
It just emphasizes how alone she is.
Yeah.
Like she was hoping for this connection with her sister.
Yeah.
Someone to share her life with, but it doesn't happen.
Right. We get a little glimpse into the community's expectations of women through those different opinions about Annie Julia's housekeeping.
It seems like a small thing, but it's not really, is it?
No, it's telling us about the strict gender roles that these women have to live with.
Okay, so then everything changes with the arrival of Shug Avery.
Here she comes.
The pink flyer.
Right.
The queen honeybee is back in town.
Love that.
And Celie's reaction is so strong. Oh, Lord, I want to go so bad. Not to dance, not to drink. I'd just be thankful to lay eyes on her.
It's like she's drawn to her.
Yeah, like a magnet.
Yeah.
So what do you think it is about Shug that Celie is so attracted to, even before she actually meets her?
I mean, first of all, the queen honeybee, that name says it all.
Yeah.
Someone powerful, someone who makes their own rules.
Yeah.
And I think Celie sees that, and it's like a breath of fresh air for her.
Yeah, it's like a whole different way of being a woman, right?
Exactly, and one that Celie has never really seen before.
Right. And it's interesting how Mr. He disappears whenever Shug is around, and when he comes back, he's not doing so great.
Yeah, he's a mess.
Like tired, sad, weak, cry.
So there's history there, right?
Definitely. Some kind of connection.
Maybe even a vulnerability
Yeah.
that we don't normally see.
Okay, so let's talk about Sophia and Harpo.
Okay.
Sophia is strong-willed right from the start.
Yeah, you could tell.
She fights back against Harpo when he tries to control her. They actually have a physical fight.
Really?
And she says, but I'll kill him dead before I let him beat me.
Wow, that's powerful.
She's such a contrast to Celie at this point.
How so?
Well, she's not putting up with anything.
True.
She's defending herself. She's not letting anyone walk all over her.
And Celie's not there yet?
No, not yet. But their relationship develops, and Sophia even starts to feel sorry for Celie.
Oh, that's interesting.
She says, to tell the truth, you remind me of my mama. She, under my daddy thumb, she under my daddy foot. Anything he say, goes. She'd never say nothing back.
It's like she sees a pattern repeating itself.
Right. It's like she recognizes that lack of power that so many women in their community experience.
Exactly, a shared female burden, you know?
And then there's Harpo and his interesting interest in things that are traditionally considered women's work.
Like what?
Well, he enjoys cooking and cleaning, and he even confides in Celie about his love business with Sophia.
I see. So he's not following the typical masculine role.
No, he's not. And it's a direct contrast to Mr.
That's fair.
And his expectations, too.
So what do you make of that? Is Harpo trying to challenge those gender roles, or is it something else?
Maybe he's just trying to figure out how to connect with Sophia. Or maybe he's rejecting the model of masculinity that he's seen in his own father.
Could be. It definitely makes you think about how complex those gender roles are.
It does. And then Celie gives this very blunt assessment of her marriage.
What'd you say?
Mr. Unstein marry me to take care of his children. I marry him because my daddy made me. I don't love Mr. and he don't love me.
Wow, she doesn't sugarcoat anything.
No, it's a raw and honest statement.
You can really see how little agency she has in her own life, how her needs and desires are completely ignored.
Yeah, it's like she's an object, not a person. But then things start to shift with Shug.
Okay.
They have these intimate moments, like when Shug asks to eat with Celie, and she's looking at a magazine with white women.
Oh, yeah.
And she makes this comment. She says, see, they trying to look like white women. They try to look like white women in the day magazines.
What do you think that means?
Well, to me, it's like Shug is rejecting that standard of beauty.
Okay.
And maybe rejecting white standards in general.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And then you start to see these changes in Celie's feelings.
What kind of changes?
Well, she notices Shug physically. She's attracted to her.
I see.
She says, if I don't watch out, I'll have hold of her hand, tasting her fingers in my mouth.
So it's like a whole new world is opening up to her?
Yeah, she's experiencing feelings and desires that she's never even considered before.
That's huge.
And then they have these really revealing conversations about sex.
Oh.
Shug asks her straight up, you never enjoy it at all, she asked, puzzled. Not even with your children, Daddy. Never, I say. Why, Miss Celie, she say, you still a virgin?
Wow, that's intense.
Yeah, Shug is forcing Celie to actually confront what's been happening to her, how she's been treated.
It's like she's waking up from a long sleep.
And then Shug explains female sexuality to her, you know, the little button. And Celie finally takes a look at herself.
She does.
With a mirror. And she says, it mine, I say.
That's a really important moment, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like she's claiming ownership of her own body for the first time.
It's a big step towards feeling worthy and powerful.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But they're still living in a world full of racism and conflict.
Right, so it's not like everything is suddenly perfect.
No, not at all. Like that incident with Miss Millie's son kicking Sophia.
Oof, I remember that scene. Just awful.
It shows how little respect these white people have for black people.
Yeah, that sense of entitlement, it's really disturbing.
And then Shug comes back with Grady and this new Packard, her wedding gift.
Oh, yeah.
And Celie doesn't like Grady at all.
She doesn't.
No, and Mr. He looks like the end of the world when he sees them.
So there's some jealousy there, right? Maybe even a power struggle.
Definitely. But Shug's presence actually does lead to some positive changes for Celie.
Like what?
Well, Mr. Dahlia doesn't beat her as much anymore.
Oh, good.
And Celie and Shug's relationship goes even stronger.
I see.
Shug tells her, she say, I love you, Miss Celie. And then she hauls off and kisses me on the mouth.
It's incredible how much Shug helps Celie to see her own worth.
Yeah, it's really powerful. And then comes the big turning point, the discovery of Nettie's letters.
Oh, right, the letters.
Shug notices the funny scamps. And they find all these letters hidden in Mr.
Sure.
Dalla's trunk. It changes everything.
That's a huge moment.
Yeah, she thought she had lost her sister forever.
And now she has all these years of her life to catch up on.
Exactly. So Nettie's letters tell us all about her life with Corinne and Samuel, the missionaries, and they've adopted Olivia and Adam. And Nettie's love for Celie has never faded.
That's wonderful.
And there's even this funny bit where Corinne thought the children were Nettie and Samuel's.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it all gets sorted out.
Yeah.
But what I found interesting was how Nettie's experiences in Africa really add this whole other layer to the story.
Definitely.
You know, you see these different cultures, the challenges of missionary work,
Right.
and the horrible impact of colonialism on the Alinka people.
Oh, yeah, that's a big part of it.
Like they're building roads right through their land, forcing them to work on rubber plantations.
It's awful.
They're losing their homes and their way of life. There's even a water tax.
A water tax.
Yeah, and they destroy the roof leaf, which is like this sacred plant.
That's just wrong. So it connects Celie's story to these larger global issues, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's not just about her personal struggles. It's about these systems of oppression that affect so many people.
Exactly.
And then the biggest bombshell of all,
What's that?
Pa is not our Pa.
Oh, my goodness.
Nettie reveals the truth about their biological father. He was lynched. And their mother's mental health completely declined after that.
So everything Celie thought she knew about her family is a lie.
It's a complete reframing of her past.
It must be so disorienting.
Yeah, it forces her to reevaluate everything.
Yeah.
But she keeps growing, she keeps changing. She and Shug go back to their childhood home.
They do.
Yeah, and they place this horseshoe on their parents' graves as a symbol of their bond.
That's beautiful.
And Celie's relationship with God changes too.
How so?
Well, she starts to question the traditional image of God, you know, the big and old and tall and gray-bearded and white God.
Yeah, that doesn't really resonate with everyone.
No, and Shug helps her to see God in a different way, to find God in the world around her and even within herself.
Still a personal and empowering view, right?
Exactly.
Aye.
And with that change comes this new strength. She finally stands up to Mr.
Mr. Zulu.
She says to him, "You have to get man off your eyeball before you can see anything at all."
That's amazing. She's finally seeing clearly.
And Sophia, she shows incredible resilience even after being imprisoned.
She's a tough one.
Yeah, and Harpo opens a juke joint.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like he's finding his own
Maybe
way.
this is how he expresses himself, you know?
Yeah, it's a positive change. And then, believe it or not, Mr. In, he starts to change too.
He does.
Yeah, he starts working around the house. He even collects these little shells.
Interesting.
And he finally admits that he was wrong. He says he was just too big a fool to let myself care.
Wow, I never would have expected that.
It's a glimmer of hope, right?
Yeah, maybe people can change even after they've done bad things.
And then finally, Nettie comes home
The reunion.
with Samuel and the children, Olivia, Adam, and Tashi.
What a moment.
It's everything Celie ever wanted.
All those years of hoping and waiting.
Yeah, and even though they've been through so much, they're finally together.
And that's what matters.
And we even get these glimpses into Tashi's experiences with scarification
Oh, right.
and how Adam supports her.
It just shows how important it is to respect different cultures and different ways of being.
It does. So looking back at all these excerpts, Celie's journey is incredible, isn't it?
Absolutely. From being completely powerless to finding her voice, her strength, her love,
She shows us how resilient the human spirit can be.
and the importance of connection, of having people in your life who support you.
Yeah. So we want you, our listener, to think about how these themes resonate with you.
Right. How do people today face oppression, and how do they find the strength to overcome it?
We really encourage you to read the whole book, The Color Purple,
Yeah, it's an amazing story.
and think about how Celie's relationship with God changes as she grows.
And how her connections with other people, especially women, help her to heal and to become who she's meant to be.
Celie's journey is a reminder that even when things are really hard, there's always hope.
And that love can help us to find our way.
Exactly. And it reminds us that the path to self-acceptance isn't always easy, but it's worth it.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
We'll see you next time.